name is Donny, baby. What's going on, everybody? I am back with a new video. I try to give y'all a video every week. I'm trying to come back with a new video. As you see, I came in, I Believe in My Soul by the genius Donny Hathaway. This video is definitely going to be dedicated to him. We're going to ride out with his music. We're going to talk about it. We may have a little bit of discussion back and forth, which is better, which is not. But ride out with me. Go get y'all a drink, and let's take this journey together. Okay. I got this drink from Vegas, and I brought this cup. Yeah, I'll drink all you. Yeah, that. But yeah, we came in with that. If anybody would know that bass line, I think T.I. would know that bass line. If you know what you know about that, a little part in there he uses on that song. Check it out. If I'm lying, check that out. But like I said, I came in with the video. I came in with one of my favorite artists of all time, Mr. Donny Hathaway. He's definitely in my top 5 artists and my top 10 singers. Now, you know, his career was definitely short, but, you know, what bothers me a little bit is people don't understand the genius that he really was. You know, we put Marvin and Stevie on this pedestal, and we leave Donny out. And in my opinion, Donny should be up there with Marvin and Stevie, and he definitely deserves that right, because I'm telling you, man, his career was always going up and up and up. His career kind of reminds me of what Aaliyah was going through. When she passed, her career was about to skyrocket, and God was just ready for it. And clearly God was ready for Donny as well. But his music is definitely here, and you know, we can listen to it forever. And you know, in this video, like I said, I want to explain the mark that he left for the 13 years that he began, you know, his career in 1966 when he got into this business, and when he passed in 1979. So like I said, let's take this journey together. So let me explain how I first got onto Donny Hathaway, which is a bug out. If anybody is from New York, and anybody, from New York and know Felix Hernandez, he's like my idol. Like, I look up to him. I haven't even met him yet. My family has met him because they went to the Rhythm Review party, and Felix Hernandez actually gave me his autograph, and he didn't know. My mom told him when I was 13, she told him, oh, my son loved you, and you know, we listen to your radio station all the time. His radio station right now is WBGO 88.3, Saturdays from 10 to 2. Please check him out. Soul music from top to bottom. It's amazing. You know, that's how I really got into Donny, because, you know, one day, I guess it was Donny's birthday, if I'm not mistaken, and one day we were riding, because like I said, normally me and my family, we listen to that when we, you know, with us being in Jersey, we go to Brooklyn and go see some family, or even riding around shopping and things like that, we turn on Felix, and we listen to him from 10 to 2, and he rocks. So one day, I think it might have been Donny's birthday, but I didn't know Donny, because one thing about that, my family really didn't play Donny that much. Like, I knew Donny, but I didn't know Donny. Like, we played him, but I didn't pay attention, and I didn't know it was Donny. So, when I heard this song, I was like, oh my God, like, who is this guy? And it's, and I'm gonna just give y'all a little sample.
We may never meet again. Before you go.
Now, I was like, who is this guy? And my mother, you know, looked at me and she said, boy, that's Donny Hathaway. And I was like, who? And I was like, I don't know no Donny Hathaway. My mom was like, you gotta be kidding me. Every holiday we play Donny Hathaway. And I'm like, we do? And she was like, yeah. And she was like, shake a hand, shake a hand. I was like, wait a minute, hold up, that's Donny Hathaway? She was like, yeah. So when I think of that, of course, we all know this. This plays every holiday. So when we know that song, we know that's Donny Hathaway. And that's crazy because for me, I've been listening to that all my life, and I did not know that was Donny Hathaway. I just was like, okay, I don't know who this is, because we have this same Christmas album that we play all the time. I think my grandparents got it in '91, if I'm not mistaken, and it has Luther on it. It has, her name is Margie Joseph, This Christmas Gift, the Sweet Inspirations, and all of that. So my focus, I never knew who this was. I was just like, oh, okay, you know, I like this song, I know, but I never knew it was Donny Hathaway. So when my mom told me that, I was like, oh, snap, this is Donny Hathaway? Okay. So like I said, you know, around, you know, my family, we really didn't play Donny like that. Like, we really didn't. Like, we weren't a Donny Hathaway type of family. So as soon as I heard that song, For All We Know, and I heard it from Felix, I said, yo, I have to really look up who Donny Hathaway is now that I know that he did this. So my teenage years is really when I started getting into Donny Hathaway's music. And when I found out about, you know, the first thing I found out was the fact that, you know who found him? Curtis Mayfield, which is a shock, because now Curtis Mayfield is like one of my favorite artists. As y'all know, I did a video with his production on Sparkle and Claudine a couple of videos back. And even when I did the videos with Lena, I talked about Curtis Mayfield being one of my favorite male artists. And I did not know he found Donny Hathaway and brought him from D.C. because he was going to Howard, and brought him to back to Chicago, because that's where Donny Hathaway was born. But he brought him back to Chicago and had him as a studio singer. So he started working with so many people. But what I was so shocked to find out was that this song right here that Mr. Donny Hathaway helped arrange, and it's one of the Impression's biggest records. Listen to this. Unbelievable. Donny Hathaway helped arrange that record. That I did not know. And Donny Hathaway was only 24. So mind you, he helped Curtis Mayfield, that was a veteran in this, and he saw something in Donny, and Donny helped arrange that. Then he started, like I said, becoming a studio vocalist and studio, you know, playing the piano and all that good stuff. But going back to the DC days, he went to Howard, and he met Roberta Flack. And we all know Roberta Flack is Killing Me Softly, and The First Time I Saw Your Face, and Feel Like Making Love, and all that good stuff. So Donny had already knew, you know, he was already in that range already. He already, you know, he was already a star before we knew he was a star, because the veterans knew him. Like, he did stuff for the Staple Singers. He did some stuff for Aretha Franklin. He did so much stuff for people that you would not know. So now it's like, now that I know that Curtis Mayfield's on him, Curtis Mayfield ain't gonna get with nobody that's whack. You know what I'm saying? So I knew that Donny had to be good. So this made me like, okay, it's time for me to start listening to Donny Hathaway's music. So the first album I was definitely introduced to Donny was Everything Is Everything. Now, when I finished hearing that first album, because this is his debut, it came out in 1970. When I heard that album from beginning to end, I tell y'all, I said, this guy is one of my favorite artists. He had a voice, but he became my favorite artist because of the music that he did on here. It was so dope. I'm going to play a song that, you know, already, because I came in with I Believe to My Soul. I came in with that, and that was off of Everything Is Everything. So the next song I'm going to play is actually Trying Times. Now, backlog about that is Trying Times actually was written by Donny, that was given on Roberta Flack's first album, The First Take. Because on her album, she had, you know, her first album, he was able to give 2 songs, and she did 2 songs, and one of them was Trying Times. So for his album, he redid it. So I'm going to give y'all a little sample of that, a little bit. Ain't that beginning hard, y'all? Y'all, come on now.
Things that's wrong, going down. Yes, it is. I can't understand it from my point of view.
So, I say that to say,
And she would have them do unto you.
so with that being said, about this album, if you ask me, this was the first album kind of what's going on, political kind of vibe. Because if you look at the cover of this album, he had the kids in his hand, and he's in the hood, and this album kind of gives you that kind of vibe. And then Trying Times, a song like Trying Times, and Misty, and Sugar Lee, and he was kind of taking that social approach and bringing it mainstream. But we always give Marvin What's Going On that stamp. But actually him and Roberta actually started it first, because Roberta's first album, First Take, came out in 1969, and she had Trying Times on there, and she had another joint on there that was, I can't think of it right now, that was that kind of political. So this album also had Trying Times, but the song that I think everybody knows from him would be The Ghetto. Now, that song to me is what Inner City Blues is kind of, you can kind of compare it to those two. And just, this song is really musical. This record right here just showed you that Donny was a producer. Like, he was an artist. Because it wasn't even a lot of words on this. You just took a ride through the ghetto, and that's what he did. You had people talking in the background. It's just, and then listening to this whole record, it made you feel like you were in the ghetto. And he wanted you to feel, he wanted the mainstream world to feel this. You know what I'm saying? So, in my opinion, I feel like he started, because this album came out a year before What's Going On. Even though Marvin's single came out in 70, this whole album came out in 70. And I think he was taking a political and social thing, but he was a rookie. And like I said, Marvin Gaye had a lot of fans. So when you have a lot of fans, it doesn't really matter what you bring out. Like in today's world, you can be talking about something serious and then come out with a new album and it's all fun and everybody's on it because you have those fans. So with him doing this, it was just like, he was a newbie. So nobody really paid attention, but this album had so much political and social undertones before What's Going On. And he doesn't get the respect because he was a rookie. But I have two favorite songs off this album. One of them is To Be Young, Gifted, and Black. Clearly we know that's by Nina Simone. He bodies it. The vocals are there, everything. But I have to say that my favorite song, because I had two, that one, but my favorite song has to be Thank You, Master. I love that song, because back then, these artists didn't put God in their songs, like put in the titles. So he said, thank you, Master, for my soul. We all know that means God and what he's done for us. And Donny, I tell y'all, went in on this record. Like, the production and the vocals, and this is a gospel song. And I said, Donny, you did that. Yes, yes. Sing it, Donny. I ain't gonna have no praise dancing up in here. I ain't gonna do it to y'all. But if y'all have a chance, please go listen to this. So, when I got to listen to this record, I said, okay, Donny Hathaway is a problem and to be reckoned with. And I said, this dude is the truth. And with this album, he became my top 5 favorite artists, just from this record alone. The next album we're going to go to, his second album we're going to go to, is my favorite Donny album. And we have a lot of, it's a lot of debate going on, but I'm gonna talk about this album first, and we're gonna go to the next studio album, and then we're gonna talk. But let me talk about this. This album here, it was a cover album. It was covers. It was a lot of, covers he did. He did a lot of, it was gospel influence. Definitely gospel influence. And, I just love this album because the vocals from Donny, he showed you, now don't get me wrong, when everything is everything, he showed you can sing, and he gave you production. But this album showed you that Donny can sing. And with that, he got into my top 10 male singers of all time. Just from this album by itself. I'm telling y'all. The vocals are there, the gospel influence is there. For me as a singer, you gotta be able to sing, and you gotta make me feel you while you singing. You know what I'm saying? So this album here is my favorite. I'm gonna start with the first song off of it. It's called Giving Up. Now, Giving Up, when I heard this song for the first time, and I was listening to it, I said, wait a minute. I heard this song before. Giving Up was actually done in the Sparkle movie. Mind you, this album came out before Sparkle because it came out in 71. Sparkle came out in 76. But when I heard this song, sister in the movie was singing this. Her name is Loretta McGee, if I'm saying her name right. And the part where she was getting beat up by Tony and all that good stuff, and not good stuff, sorry, nobody getting beat is good. But when she was getting beat and she was on drugs and she started singing Giving Up. So when I heard this, I said, oh, I know this. This was in Sparkle. So give y'all a little taste. Yo, come on now. That vocal run alone, you cannot tell me did not get y'all. Y'all bugging if y'all did not get that right there. That vocal run was epic. Do you hear me? That, I was like, sing, Donny. Yes, okay, that I had to give y'all a little bit because we on this journey, so I don't want to give y'all too much. So the next record I'm gonna play is Put Your Hand in the Hand. That is a gospel type of record. It's definitely. Oh, going back, I am so sorry. We were talking about Giving Up, and what I missed is that Van McCoy did this, the one that Do the Hustle. Do the Hustle. Me and my mom always be doing the hustle, and we having our drinks and stuff like that, and we be listening. And even though the hustle don't be on, but we still do it. We still do the hustle to every song. That's when y'all know we be feeling it, but it be all good. But he wrote Giving Up, and that was a kind of fact that I wanted to give y'all before I moved on to the next song. But the next song is Put Your Hand in the Hand, which is a gospel influence type of record. I definitely listen to that record a lot. It touches me. And, he just added his own kind of, because he plays the keyboard, so you can hear it. And then hold on, wait a minute. I'm gonna put the shit when the choir comes in. Yeah. So that was, and Donny is again singing on that record. The next song is a little, we gonna get a little personal a little bit. The next song I think everybody knows by Donny Hathaway. I think when you ask everybody kind of what's their favorite song from Donny Hathaway, either one or two songs is going to be, and one of these songs is a song for you. Now, this song is very personal to me because when my cousin and brother died 5 years ago, when I got the call that he passed, and my mom called me and told me he had passed, the first thing I did was I went to a song for you. Now, if any of you guys follow me on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, I always say anytime this song comes on, it doesn't matter whose version it is. It could be Whitney's, it could be Herbie Hancock's with Christina Aguilera, it could be Usher. It's so many people that covered this version. Mind you, Donny covered it, but I think everybody goes to his version. And when I tell y'all that when I found that he passed, I went to that song and I boo-hooed and cried because I dedicate that to him. So I'm going to give y'all the verse that I do dedicate to him, and it's very personal for me. I don't want to cry on camera, even though we know each other, but I don't want to do that. So let me give y'all a sample to the part that gets me all the time.
Well, there's no space or time. I love you for my life. You're a friend of mine. And when my life is over, remember we were together. We were alone and I was singing this song to you.
Now, one thing about Donny Hathaway that I think we all can agree on is when he sings, you feel the emotion. And that verse right there makes me think about my brother all the time. And I miss him and I love him. And every time I listen to this song, it kind of gets me teary-eyed. And the reason why I maybe not teary-eyed now because we haven't gone through the whole song. So, but I wanted to give y'all the part that really I dedicate to him. So, you know, R.I.P. to my brother Desmond. Love you to death. And like I said, I dedicate a song to you. Another of my favorites on this. Oh, This Christmas is on this too. It's on this. Another one of my favorite. Well, two. I'm saying my favorite. I have so many favorites on this, but the songs that he's really singing on this is Little Girl and He Ain't Happy He's My Brother. Oh my God, Donny is taking his vocals somewhere else, and you feel him. So, but I want a rapper. I don't know. Maybe somebody has. I don't know, and I haven't found it. But I love the beginning of Magnificent Sanctuary Band. Magnificent. I said magnifying. Oh my God. A Magnificent Sanctuary Band. The beginning of that, I want somebody, DJ Premier, Pete Rock, somebody to use that and put that in the record. I just love the beginning, and I'm going to give y'all a little bit of that. So, listen. Yo, that go hard. And add that to some kind of beat, that will be ill. That will be completely ill. Like, I'm telling you. Yo, somebody, if anybody you watching this video, I would recommend, please, somebody, go get that and put that to a beat, and I swear it probably will be so dope. So, yeah, this album, 1971, I feel like this is the essence of Donny. To me, I'm saying Bobby. Donny, I feel like this is the essence of him. I feel like vocally, he was showing his vocals. Maybe this might have been covers of songs, but Donny made it his own. You are not a great artist if you can't make a cover your own. And every one of these songs he made his own. When you think of a song for you, you think about Donny Hathaway. When you think about Giving Up, you think about Donny Hathaway. When you think about Put Your Hand in the Hand, you think about Donny Hathaway. You don't think about the people that did it before him. You think about him. So that right there shows that he was an amazing artist because he made these songs his own. And that's why it's my personal favorite. And like I said, I like vocals. If you can, woo, you good on me. You good. So, the next project, I think everybody knows. If you don't know it, something is wrong with you. It has to be, it's my second favorite live album of all time. It's amazing. It doesn't beat Sam Cooke Live at the Copper for me because that's a family album. My whole family love it. My grandfather played it over and over and over and over and over. So as a kid, that was my childhood. I know it. Donny Hathaway, this album, again, shows him as an artist. And it was amazing. His version of What's Going On is the opening record on this album. I like his live version better than Marvin Gaye's regular version. Shoot me. I don't care. But it's the truth. I do. I love his version. His 12-minute version of The Ghetto where he's really into the crowd, amazing. You know what? I'm going to give y'all a little sample of What's Going On. I just like, hold on. I just love it. Hold on.
We don't need to rescue me. War is not the answer. 'Cause only love company. You know we gotta find a way to bring some love in here today.
Picking line. Yes, Donny. You got the groove to that, man. That joint rocks, man. He killed it. Little Ghetto Boy. Now, the original version I had already heard, but I didn't know that song was on Come Back to Charleston album that he did with Quincy Jones. And Little Ghetto Boy was also used by Dr. Dre on the Chronic album that he entitled Little Ghetto Boy. He used, hold on.
Case that they gave me, dear God, I wonder can you save me? I'm only 18, so I'm a young buck. It's alright if I don't scrap, I'm getting no small grip, nigga. I'm bigger than you. So
you hear that? You hear the original version. Go back to Donny's original version. You will definitely know that he used that sample. So Dr. Dre knows about about Donny Hathaway. He knows about a lot of old sound. That's why I like him and Snoop, because they know about it and they address that they know about it and they teach this young generation about this music. They say you should know about the older music and not call it old, and because a lot of this new stuff uses that old stuff. So just wanted to throw that in there a little bit. Again, I love his version of You Got a Friend. Love that. Like I said, this album is one of the best live albums to ever be heard. It must be in your collection. I recommend it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Yeah, I mean, when I listen to it, and like when I'm cooking dinner and I'm home and I'm vibing out and I'm cooking dinner, that album, I'm in Donny's world. He got me. I'm there. It's starting with What's Going On. Like, I be so mad when Everything Is Everything, hear voices and he has everybody in it playing their instrument. And, you know, his band and everybody's individual. I be so into the world. I be so mad that it's over. I be like, dang, it's over already. And mind you, I'm cooking and cleaning and things. And, you know, I'm in his world and I don't be wanting it to end. So if y'all don't have it, I definitely recommend y'all get the Donny Hathaway live album. Now, we're going to go on to, unfortunately, was the last studio album by Donny Hathaway, and that's The Extensions of a Man. Now, that album has two of my favorite Donny songs of all time. It's funny because the Donny Hathaway album is my favorite, but this has my favorite two Donny songs of all time on it. I'm going to play the first one, and I think we all know. I'm I thought we'll all be free, yeah, man. So, doing research, once again, I found out that when Donny heard this song, the final mix, he started crying. He started crying after he heard the final mix. It's good when you know that a song, you know that an artist put their all into it when they get that kind of emotion and they get that kind of feeling after they hear themselves and they listen to it and they like, oh my God, like he wanted to be free. And I think it was foreshadowing what we already know ended up happening. I think Donny wants to be free from his sickness, and I think that right there song he put his all into. And I feel like that song, you feel the emotion, is amazing. Epic song. The next song, I ain't gonna start no trouble, y'all, but this is what I feel. I feel this way. Junior feels this way. I'm not saying it is true, but I feel this way. Now, the song, I think, when I'm on Instagram and anybody talking about Donny Hathaway, they play this record.
More than you'll ever know. More than you'll ever know.
Now, I ain't gonna start no trouble, but we cool and we family, cause I done did so many videos. We family, so I feel like I can discuss this with y'all. My opinion, I feel like he was singing that to Roberta Flack. I'm sorry. Hey, that's the way I feel. I feel like, you know, with him and Roberta, they knew each other, and, you know, they did their duet. To me, they may have been a Marvin and Tammy on the low. Who knows? I don't know. Because, you know, hey, it's just my opinion. This is how I feel. You might disagree. You might agree. You might think it. You might not. But this is my platform, so this is what I feel, and it's, you know, hey. I feel like he was singing that to Roberta. That's what I feel. So, that song there. Another one that I like is Flying Easy. Flying Easy was very smooth. You hear that? Flying Easy. I found out that Donny wrote this song back, and he heard this back in '69, but he didn't do anything with it. But he wanted to get, he felt that this song, Flying High, United Airlines might have wanted it. So he made a song that, you know, could get him more money. This is more money for Donny. Donny wasn't no fool, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to go too far ahead, but this, and then Slums. I feel like Slums was definitely, you know, the Ghetto Part 3, because, you know, you had the Ghetto Part 1, Side B was Ghetto Part 2, and then the Slums was just music. They were just playing. Him and his band was rocking out. I mean, he said a few here and there, but this was just about, he's making you feel like you was in the hood again. Like you in the hood, like that, and he wanted you once again to feel that. And like I said, this is the Ghetto Part 3. Lord Help Me, another gospel influence. Donny was definitely gospel influence, because the beginning, I love the Lord, He heard my cry. The beginning of this is the #1 song on the album. This starts off the album. I love the Lord, He heard my cry. Y'all, musically, it's no words. It's just music. It was amazing. Now, I definitely will recommend this album as well. Is it my favorite? No. But this album, Donny got into more of the writing and producing. He did like 5 out of the 10 tracks. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like this album showed Donny more as an artist. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like for me, this album can compete with kind of Innovisions and Let's Get It On, because he was showing himself as an artist. I feel like the Donny album was very, I want to show you my vocals, I want to show you I'm real, I can sing. And his first Everything Is Everything was like, this is what I'm about. I'm a little bit of, you know, I want to talk about political things and social things. And I also want to talk about, you know, what's going on in the world, but I can sing and then I can produce. So the first album was a jumble of all. The second album, the Donny Hathaway album, was full of covers. He was just singing and playing his keyboard, and it was amazing, period. The Extensions of a Man was Donny transforming into a whole artist, where he didn't have so many people trying to get in on the producing. This album was more of him showing himself as an artist, and I think that's where everybody kind of go back and forth, because I was reading these reviews on this site that I found. I forgot what site it was, and these guys were saying, you know, the Donny Hathaway album seems very boring and blah blah blah, and the Everything Is Everything, it was rookie-ish, and he was coming out, and, you know, it was very a rookie album. The Donny album was very boring, but he was singing good. But Extensions of a Man, oh my God, that is just a brilliant album. I'm like, how do you say that the Donny Hathaway album was boring? As an artist, shouldn't you know how to sing? I'm confused. Help me out. But, I mean, to each his own. But I think what everybody knows about Donny is him doing his duets with Roberta Flack. And everybody knows him from, of course, The Closer I Get to You, that was remade by so many people. Now, this is funny, too. Now, mind you, y'all, I know this song, but I did not know it was Donny Hathaway. I thought it was Roberta Flack, because I'm going to keep it real with y'all like I always do. I'm not the biggest Roberta Flack fan. I am not the biggest Roberta Flack fan. I like her, but her voice is just so... Okay, I'm going to keep it straight real with y'all. See, yeah, I know I've been drinking, I've been feeling a little bit, but it's all good. Like I tell my mother, when I'm at work and we can't get a black station clear, and I can only get, like, say, if you guys are from Jersey watching this, this is 98.3, right? And they're playing, you know, contemporary pop or adult contemporary, and they're playing like all that, and they get to Dionne Warwick and they get to Roberta Flack, I'm happy because a black artist is being played. It's like all these other artists, it's like, okay, I know these songs, but when am I gonna hear a black artist? And I finally hear one, and I'm like, yes, Roberta Flack, okay, I can get with this. Dionne Warwick, I can get with this. But on a soulful station, I wouldn't listen to them. I just wouldn't. And I mean, that's just my opinion. Roberta can sing, but just, she don't have that row, you know, to me. But I must say, the performance that she did with her, Aretha, Sarah Vaughan, and Peggy Lee on YouTube, they did at the Duke Ellington's, they were tributing him, and Quincy Jones did the producing. She did a thing on there. But, I mean, to each his own. But I think everybody knows him from that. And, of course, everybody know him from that, because Donny's albums, Donny didn't have a #1 album. He didn't have, but he was known, and his albums wasn't like up there with Stevie Wonder's and the Al Greens and all that, but he was still known. But people don't put him on that pedestal, but everybody loved him from the Roberta Flack. And that's when everybody kind of knows Donny more for his duets with Roberta. You know what I mean? It's like Tammy Terrell was an artist before she got with Marvin Gaye, but everybody know her with doing her duets with Marvin. You see what I'm saying? That's what kind of Donny falls in. But Donny's solo albums is classic in my opinion. And well, the later years, since we're gonna, we get into the later years, Donny, we all know that Donny has schizophrenia, and that is a bad disease that I can kind of relate to because one of my aunts has it, and the symptoms are bad, and if you don't take your medicine, it can get worse and get worse and worse and worse. And they said during the times after Extensions of a Man, he really couldn't promote it. So the promotion wasn't big because he got sick. So then for 4 years, he kind of went away. So when he came back with The Closer I Get to You off of Roberta Flack's album, it was like, okay, Donny's back. Okay, cool. So I think everybody knew that for him to get back with that mainstream, that him and Roberta Flack do a second duets album. And they were on their way to make it, and a tragedy, of course, happens that he passed. But what was so weird that his last song that he made was You Are My Heaven. They said that was the last song, right? Yes, they said that was the last song. Let me go to the group. Yeah. Yay. La-di-da, you are my love. So, yeah, Donny, even though he only had a good 13 years in this business, but he made such a big impact. I'm telling you, Stevie Wonder was inspired by his live album, and his live album came out in '72. So that's telling me that Music of the Mind, Talking Book was clearly inspired from that album. He got inspiration from Donny's live album to make those. Hello, that's the impact right there. We know, in my opinion, I feel like Alicia Keys is a little Donny Hathaway, but she's a female. But she definitely gives you that vibe. She plays the keyboard. The girl is very artistic. She produces her own music. She writes her own music. That's Lil Donny. India Arie loves Donny Hathaway. I love in her songs Little Things. She said, give me some Stevie, give me some Donny. Like, yes, that little part. Aaliyah was supposed to do the Sparkle movie that we all know, and she passed, but she did her version of Giving Up, and following, I guess she used Donny Hathaway's version as a way to do hers, because it's kind of similar, but Aaliyah did a thing on that too, though. Another thing, Donny did the theme song to Maude, the TV show. So Donny has made an impact. Like I said, this Christmas, everybody plays This Christmas. It has been remade by so many people, but Donny's version, nobody could never get as close as Donny's version. Donny's version has to be played during the holidays. That's the spirit point blank. He has a big impact, and I feel like when he was going to come back, man, he was going to come back strong, and in the 80s, it probably would have been his. He probably would have been running the 80s. Musically, he would have been running it. Had so many people producing. When you got somebody like Quincy Jones, they asked Quincy Jones on the, is it Come Back Charleston, if I'm saying the title right. They asked him who did he want to work with. Mind you, this is 1972. Donny only really been in the industry for 6 years. He said, I want Donny Hathaway. That's crazy. Quincy Jones, the legendary Quincy Jones, that's crazy. And watching his Unsung, I was watching it a couple of days ago, and it just makes you so teary-eyed because Donny's career was so promising. Like, it was, but it's great. God had him here to make this impact and influence so many other people. That's why it gets me so mad. Like, Music Soul Child and these other artists, remind me of Donny, and they make albums like Donny, and they don't get the respect that they deserve, especially now. People are not into artistry. You're into these gimmicks, and Donny was the type that was not a gimmick. He was not a gimmick. He was himself, and he made an impact for being that himself. And it was just, you know, I really feel like I had to make a video because I just did a video with Marvin and Stevie's, and I felt like, wait a minute, I need to talk about Donny. So I felt like I wanted to do a whole video on him. Hopefully you guys enjoy. I gave y'all a lot of history on this one. Y'all vibed out with me a little bit. I wanted to play a little bit more music, but, you know, I gave y'all a little essence of Donny. But I think I want to go out with something a little bit faster. And we're going to go out with this one. And the reason why we're going to go out with them, let me pause, because this song is kind of sentimental to me, because when I started doing videos, this is actually, no, it wasn't. I thought it was, but we ended it with this one. But, you know, when I first started doing video blogs, I was nervous to do them because I used to write them. But now I'm getting a little bit more comfortable with doing video blogs, and it's dope. And to have a conversation with you guys, it's not like I'm talking and y'all just listening. We can conversate with each other. We can vibe out together. We can dance a little bit. And this song, to me, brings everything full circle, and I love it. So we gonna go out on this note. Peace, y'all. I'm out.